Hi everyone, welcome to Zen Studios. So you spent all this money and put all this time into creating a beautiful artwork, and then you go at the end and you press the switch and nothing happens. If only there was a way that we could check that first. Well, let's rescue it with the Test Circuit Pro from our friends at Mike Lane Mods. Alrighty. Full disclosure, my Back to the Future DeLorean is absolutely fine. All of my electrics are controlled by remote control, so those switches inside are deactivated. But the point is well taken. That you spend all this time and all this money putting effort into these part works, and to have the electrics not work at the very end would be a really sour way to end the build. So, our friends over at Mike Lane Mods, we'll put his icon up here, have come up with a brilliant tool. This is not a modification, it's a tool. Test Circuit Pro. And so we're going to be going ahead and we're going to be looking at this today. I have not opened this. So the first time I'm experiencing is the first time you're experiencing it. So let's go ahead and let's get this open and we'll see what we got. Alright, when you open the box, and I'll show you the box. If you haven't ordered anything from Mike Lane before, his comes in this really eye-catching yellow packaging, unless you're getting something for the 1966 Batmobile, and he has some really cool black packaging for those things. But most of the time, this is his iconic yellow packaging that it comes in. All the instructions for how to use this are online. So you can go to his website, to the Test Circuit Pro, and I will put a link to it in the video description for you to get this for yourself. This is an absolute brilliant tool for not only part work model builders, but regular model builders as well. If you're doing anything large scale with electrics, this is a really good upgrade. So let's get into it. So this is the Test Circuit Pro. It's all protected in plastic. Looks really nice. So let's get this open. And here we go. This is what the Test Circuit Pro looks like. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of different things you can test on here. We have an LED tester, speaker tester, motor tester. We can test the switch, AA batteries, AAA batteries, and then we can also test the battery box on here, which is really cool. The first thing that we're going to need is a USB-C cable, which is going to go in this port right here. You always want to be handling this Test Circuit Pro by the edges as much as you possibly can, so that you don't damage any of these components on there. So let me get an USB-C cable and we'll get it powered up. Alright, so here we have a USB-C cable. It's a standard USB-C cable. Most mobile phones you work on these USB-C cables at this time. Even the Apple iPhones have gone to this. Mike does offer these with the Test Circuit Pro if you need one. So if you don't have one of these, you can go ahead and get one directly from Mike. So what we'll do is we'll plug this in, and we get a nice bright blue light that comes on. So I think we'll just go through methodically, and we'll start with the LED tester. Now, this is the bat beacon, the bar from the 1966 Batmobile. And I have a concern that when I installed this, I actually damaged this LED. So before I put it on the car and have to deal with it then, let's go ahead and test it now. So as you can see, all of these ports use a JST cable. Most of our partworks do have this JST set up with them. So we'll go ahead and let's plug this guy in here. To this one. Make sure the pins are around the right way. Press the button. And that bat beacon is working just fine. So I know that I'm not going to have to do anything to replace this or to fix a broken connection in it, and it's working absolutely fine. Now, if you don't know anything about LEDs, LEDs only work one way around. Positive has to go into positive, negative has to go into negative, and sometimes they reverse the polarity from what is normal. So the Enterprise D LEDs, they have this reverse polarity with it. And what you do is you just switch this over to reverse polarity, and that should work just fine. So if you plug one of these in and it doesn't work, before you write it off and go tearing it apart thinking you need to fix something, double check the polarity and switch it one way or the other just to make sure that's not reverse polarity. The next thing we're going to test on this is a speaker tester. I got this speaker out of the Hachette Partworks Batmobile Tumbler. So the same that we did for an LED, making sure the pins are the right way around. I'm going to plug that in, push the button. That's working absolutely fine. Unplug that. So the speaker is working good. So far we have tested an LED and that's working fine. And we have also tested a speaker and that's working fine. For the motor tester, this is the blower housing off of the Hachette Partworks Ford XB Falcon. If you don't know anything about this car, this is the blower that sits on top of the motor, and it does work in the model, but they haven't given us an ability to test it yet. So we're going to go ahead and do this using the Test Circuit Pro. This is only good for 3 to 6 volt motors, so you don't want to use any of the big ones, like if you're doing the Dalek or the R2D2, things like that. It's not designed for motors that are bigger than like those. And as you can see, these JST ports have two different sizes on them. One's smaller, one's bigger. This one is going to require the bigger one. So we'll make sure the pins are the right way around. And push the button. And it's spinning that just fine. So we're 3 for 3 on testing things like that. We'll unplug that. It's a very tight fit, so you want to be careful. Set that to the side. And when you test motors, before you do anything else, you want to reset your Test Circuit Pro. So unplug it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And back in. And this should be ready to go. The next thing we're going to test is a switch. So for that, hold on, I need to. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I thought that the switch was attached to this battery box. I was mistaken. And so we have a switch with a JST connector. This is from the Batmobile tumbler as well. We can put this in. I don't remember if this was on or off. So, get my hands out of the way. If you flip the switch, the light comes on, off, on, off. So the switch is working exactly as it should. Now we're going to test some batteries. So this is your battery tester. You have your AAA right here and your AA right here. Most of our part work use either AAA or AA batteries, so this is going to work for 95% of the models that you do. We have a AA battery. I got this one out of my Xbox One controller. So we'll put positive to positive, negative to negative. Like that. And we'll hit the test button. And see, I'm down to yellow here, so my battery in my Xbox One remote is starting to run out. So it might be we might be looking to change this out pretty soon. Let's grab a AAA battery. This one I used when I tested all the electrics for the Batman tumbler last year. So it's been sitting in a bag ever since. So let's see if it's lost its charge. Nope. Full charge all the way up to green on this one. So that battery is good to go. Alright, and the last thing for the part works that we're going to test on here is the battery box tester. Now you see there's a switch that goes from 3 volts, 4.5 volts, 6 volts, and 9 volts. So you need to select which voltage you're going for the battery box that you're going to be testing. I'm going to be using the one for the Batmobile tumbler. And each AAA battery is 1.5 volts, but these are in parallel, so this is going to be a 6 volt battery box. If you're not sure what the voltage is for the model that you're testing for, Mike does provide a list of most of them on his website that you can go ahead and look at, and it will tell you what voltage you need to be testing for. If you don't see your part work on that list, let Mike know, and he will look into getting that added for you. So we will go ahead and we will plug this in. Again, make sure the pins are the right way around so you're not bending any pins. And see, I'm at 3 volts. That's not right. We need to be over to 6. There's 4.5 and 6 volts. And I have a full charge on this battery box on 6 volts. So all of these batteries are new and they're fully charged and ready to go. So I shouldn't have any problems powering anything on the Batmobile tumbler using this battery box as it is right now. Some partworks use different size connectors for their LEDs. For instance, the Enterprise D, most of those LEDs have 2 bulbs for one connection on them, so they're a 4-pin connection. In order to test those, he does provide one of these adapter kits that has those different connectors in them. And this DuPont connector, the only part work I've ever done that uses these is the DeLorean. But it is available to you, so you can test some things out on the DeLorean as well. So as you can see, This is an absolutely amazing tool to have on your workbench if you're doing part works or if you're doing any kind of model with electrics. Um, I said that this is really, really good for part works or other scale models that you're going to be putting lights in, because I have wired up a test LED, which when I was doing the Enterprise refit, I had this test LED to make sure all my connections were working. So if you want to go ahead and do that, if you're you can just plug an LED into this tester. This has the wrong end. It has a female JST connector on this one, so I can't test it for you. But if you set it up and you want to test whether an LED is working on a particular circuit, if you use these JST connectors, which I use these all the time in my models other than PartWorks, just because I find they're super easy to work with. You can test any sort of LED using this tester. You can also test motors. So if you're doing a USS Enterprise that has the spinning Bussard collectors, you can go ahead and you can test those motors out before you put them inside your nacelles and glue them shut to make sure that they are working the way that you need them to be working. So this is invaluable. This has been available from Mike for a while. However, I decided to bite the bullet and get one of these for myself, and I definitely know that I will be using this down the road. So go ahead. If you want to get this for yourself, the link is in the description to Mike Lane's website and the Test Circuit Pro, and I'll also put a link for the instructions in there as well. So I really hope you enjoyed that video. Please, please, please go out and get a Test Circuit Pro. It's really, really worth the price that you pay for the peace of mind that your models are going to work. Back to the workbench next time with a part work build-up model. I'm not sure which one, but we will definitely look forward to seeing you next time on Zen Studios. Take care.